Hello, I am Drag, and in this video I kind of wanted to go over an experience I had in high school and why I didn't like high school and just stuff. So I guess the initial catalyst for this video idea was some stupid Twitter drama. Something, Twitter in all of its infinite wisdom decided to go up in arms. I mean, this happened kind of a while ago, so but I don't know. I just got around to it. But basically, people on Twitter were getting upset because a male comic book artist was drawing a female comic book character, like how female comic book characters are drawn, heavily stylized and exaggerated. And basically, what their argument was men shouldn't be allowed to draw X or Y. Men shouldn't be allowed to draw women, basically. And this really kind of struck a nerve with me because I am of the mindset that people can draw whatever they want. I really just keep that shit away from me. Okay, and the reason why I am so adamantly against that mindset of, oh, you're not allowed to draw that. You shouldn't draw. I mean, you can say somebody shouldn't draw something, but that's different than saying you're not allowed to draw something or you can't draw this. So in high school, I was in an acting class. I mean, it was a really bad excuse for a class, but basically the teacher didn't care. Nobody really cared about the subject in this class. It was an ECA class. The teacher just kind of sat at his desk doing nothing, and the students sat around the class doing nothing. It was basically a do-nothing class. We occasionally had things where we'd go on stage and do a half-ass scene because nobody cared, like, honestly, and I really should have taken it more seriously, but it's not about this. It's about, in high school, in this particular acting class, I was sat in front of a group of, we'll call them Tumblrites, because I have a very strong feeling that they were heavy users of Tumblr. So the Tumblrites will name the main antagonist Zoe. We'll name her Zoe. And she had her two little minions. We'll call the red-headed one Bug, and shit, they had a male one. I can't remember his name. We'll call him Pillowcase. So in acting class, these Tumblrites really had nothing to do. So what they would do was they would insult me, just like say, oh, you're such a terrible artist, you shouldn't draw like this, you shouldn't draw women at all because you're a boy, and boys shouldn't be able to draw, stuff like that. They were actually really more of a nuisance than anything else, and how they would just go about things was really hypocritical. Hypocritical, I'll say that. And why it was hypocritical was because while I would draw, like, women, I will probably post some pictures of, if I can find them, of what I used to draw, and they were always, fully clothed because, I ain't about to draw some porn in high school, in a high school class. But I don't know, I guess that was just too far, like, how dare you draw a woman fully clothed? But, let's completely ignore the fact that I'm drawing teenage boys having sex with each other. Yeah. And I'll just, like, show that shit, just, like, out in the open. Nobody's gonna do anything. I'm a girl. Look at me. She was always, like, going off about, like, oh, no, women don't look like this. That's not what a woman looks like. Why is that the voice I gave her? Okay. Women don't look like this. Alright, look at me. Alright, look at my jaw. Do you see how round my chin is? Like, oh my god, what? Oh my god, like, I am really getting upset. Okay. So she didn't like the way that I drew them, and I will admit, back then my art was not the best. It was very bad, actually. When you're in high school, you don't really have that kind of, how do you say? Self-respect? Is that the word? So, self-respect. In high school, you don't have that self-respect that you get later on, in your early adult years. You don't really have you're just kind of developing who you are, and I have no idea why I wanted her approval. I guess it was just because she was, like, constantly saying, oh yeah, no, you can't draw for shit, your art's terrible. And like, while I will say it was really bad, but it wasn't one of those pieces that would get put on a cringe compilation. It was very beginner. I'll just say that. It was very beginner. One day, Zoe and Bug and Pillowcase were all like, "Oh, there's a word for men like you. There's a word for that when they draw nothing but like women." And then Bug was like,
Oh, yeah, you know what you are? You're a chauvinist. You're a chauvinistic.
"Hey, good God, why is that the voice?" Okay, okay. Sorry, I'm getting really upset. And these voices are literally the only thing that are calming me down. Okay, where was I? Okay, Bug was like,
You're a chauvinistic pig.
and I was like, "Oh, okay. What does that mean? Do you guys know what that word means?" And like,
Yeah, it means that you think that men are better than women.
I'm like, yeah, totally. That's why, like, the main heroine of my story is, a heroine, a woman who goes around kicking people's asses and taking names. Yeah, I totally think that men are better than women and all that noise.
I'm like, yeah, you do.
And, like, they would just, like, go on and on about that. It was really dumb, and I really don't know why I gave them. Well, I know why I gave them time of day because I was in high school. Moving on, one day, like we were practicing. Well, I mean, I was practicing. I was practicing like shitty life drawing, and Zoe. I don't know why I keep on forgetting her name. Zoe was like.
Oh, what are you drawing over there? What are you
Fuck, no, that wasn't the voice I gave her.
what are you drawing over there?
And then what was his name? Pillowcase. He's drawing that chick over there and like her coat. And I'm like, yeah, she has a really nice coat. I like that coat. And then Zoe took it upon herself to stand up from her seat and then like actually start physically assaulting me, like hitting me in the back of the head for drawing a fully clothed woman. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I actually said that in the middle of class, and it took every ounce of my being not to stand up and like just deck her. The main reason why I didn't was because I had already like been sent to the vice principal's office, vice principal's office, for my drawings, which like I said were safe for work, but I guess they were just too risque for high school, and so I was like, I don't need to get sent back there again. So like every ounce of my being not to just like deck this person. And I think if I'm remembering properly, another one of the girls was just like, hey, whoa, what the fuck? And like they pushed her off, and oof, I was so mad. I actually cannot remember the rest of that. I was really mad. So this happened in high school, like I said. And in high school, you don't really have the mindset that you would as an adult. And this is not me justifying what she did, because it still makes me mad. Just like how helpless I kind of felt in that moment, because, ooh, I was so mad. Like, why is it okay for her to, like, do that? It's okay for her to hit me, but then I can't draw fully clothed women, but she can draw, like, totally nude underage boys. I mean, we were all underage at the time, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, honestly, that's really that's why I get so upset when people say, "Oh, you can't draw that. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to draw this stuff." Like, there's a lot of stuff that I really don't like. Like, as far as art goes, like there's some art styles I really don't like them, but I mean, anybody who looks at my art knows that I like to draw more adult-looking people. The whole younger-looking character thing, I don't really like drawing that stuff. But like, if that's your thing, like, go for it. Like draw all the lollies you want. I don't care. It doesn't affect me in any way. If you want to draw a chick with gigantic titties so big that she shouldn't realistically be able to walk, go for it. And it's just so bothersome to hear people say, "Oh, yeah, men shouldn't be allowed to draw women. Look at all the men. All those men are definitely like every man that I've ever met is a totally is a 10-foot tall, hulking, rippling out of his shirt with muscles, because that's realistic. But like a woman with a double D and a slim waist, like I've never met anybody that looks like that. What? Okay, like you actually need to go outside. I'm not even joking. People come in all shapes and sizes. In before anyone's like, oh well, like what about like men like being sexualized? No, that is not true. not all men like being sexualized, I can tell you that. And saying that, oh, the hulking man, that's like, I will say, not all people are like that. They're like the majority of the people are like, yeah, no, draw whatever you want. Like, doesn't bother me. Just keep that shit away from me. I have no idea where I went with this. Either way, that whole controversy was incredibly stupid, and this is sort of, I don't know, peek into my past, I guess. Oh, I didn't talk about the picture. Eh, basically, I drew this picture in direct contrast with the. Well, I mean, I was gonna draw the picture anyway, but I recorded it because I kinda, I don't know, I've been putting up these walls saying, oh, you know what, Drag, you shouldn't draw stuff like that, or at least you shouldn't record it. And like, so I guess this is my way of trying to get out of that mindset. So yeah, thanks for watching and listening. Bye.